you were involved in Freddie Flintoff's hit TV show, Field of Dreams.
Mm.
That was a great TV show, and there is going to be another series. Did you enjoy taking part in the show?
I did, yeah. Fred contacted me during lockdown. He's good friends with so Steve Harmison and Rob Key are like his best mates. I've known Fred since the age of 8, and obviously because of my background in coaching, he just said he's pitched the show to the BBC. What do you think? And I just said, look, what way do you want to go about it? And I said, like, is there some longevity to it? You're not just doing one of these. And he said, no, trust me, that's not what I do. So I said, yeah, I'm in. And it was interesting to see the way it went, because I think watching it, I think people they felt like, oh, I like this character. So Sean, and that they were like, he's an interesting character. So you wanted to see his development and then how they progress. And I just think, again, that show just showed you, for me, was you give kids the opportunity, but also you give them some love and stop telling them that they're failures and they're no good to society and they're a waste of time and space and all that type of foolishness. You actually give some time for these kids. You'll be surprised on what they give you back or what they can do. And it doesn't have to be just in sport, just in life, because obviously Sean, he was never going to be a fantastic cricketer. But from learning with that show where he was having issues, always getting expelled from school, getting himself into trouble, doing other things, all of a sudden he found like, I'm actually quite a good plumber. And that's what he went into. So it was a great lesson, and people that have come up to me since doing that show and people have reached out and just said, look, it was great the way that they've done it, and just interesting to see the characters that come from it. Some of them are household names now. Sean, Ben, people are in love with these characters and with these guys, and it's good that it's got green light for another show, another series, and it'd be interesting to see what Freddie does with this one.
That show highlighted some of the challenges facing cricket, such as children from working class backgrounds not being able to access cricket. Do you think more could be done to make cricket accessible for all?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Again, it comes down to the finances. I mean, there's more money in the game than ever, but does it all filter down? No, it doesn't. We know that administrators, players, agents, and other people take the bulk of the money, and little bits trickle down. But for me, more needs to trickle down. We need to worry about the future of our game, the young people. They need to be able to see it. Children want to do what they can see. It's still, and I work for an organisation, but they front up, with Sky. They front up the money and so on, but not every kid can afford that. So, I've said it for a very long time where, what is enough? As in, what is enough? I always feel like our national sports, so that's football, rugby, cricket, whatever it is, all our internationals should be on mainstream TV for everyone to be able to see. I know, obviously, I get the finances and everything like that. I get that. But my argument is always, what is enough? I just think if we want our game to thrive and to have longevity, kids need to be able to see it. So not too long ago, I brought Alistair Cook, Sir Alistair Cook now, but Alistair Cook to my school. He did a dinner for me and all that. And it was interesting that the kids, and all what Alistair Cook's done, England's leading test run scorer, the 3100s, whatever, England captain. He has never played a game on terrestrial TV. He's never played an England or whatever game on terrestrial TV. So a lot of the kids didn't know who he was because he's not on social media. You're not seeing him on adverts. He's not that type of cat. He just plays his cricket, goes to the farm. He's not one of those guys where you're going to see him all the time. So a lot of the kids, unless, they were diehard cricketers or whatever, or they heard the name, but a lot of the kids didn't know who he was. And for me, that's sad. We've got one of our greatest ever players, the career he's had. He's also been captain for England for, 5 years or whatever it is. And they didn't know who he was. And that's purely because they don't see him.
Yeah. It was similar with Freddie on that show. None of the kids have heard who Freddie was, and he's one of England's greatest ever cricketers.
Or they've seen him on something different, be it a Giacomo ad or Top Gear or anything like that. They don't know him from cricket. Because you got to remember, like Fred did his thing in 2005. He was finished by 2009. 2009, I think he was done. So it's like, especially for England, so you've got a generation of kids that have no idea. They know who Freddie Flintoff is, but they didn't know he played cricket. They know him from adverts and all those type of things. And as I said, doing Top Gear and doing, UK Ninja Warrior or whatever it was and all those type. They know Fred from that. So his life after cricket, but they don't know what he did within cricket. So that's sad, but it is what it is, isn't it? And I said it will take someone very strong or people or an organization very strong to make a decision and say, look, all our national sports, all our main sports need to be on so kids can see it. Because that's how we grew up. When you had your 4 channels, your BBC 1, 2, 3, 4, not even 5. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, and you'd see a NatWest game, a 50-over game, internationals on TV. A lot of the cats from the 80s and stuff would be able to tell you teams and, the Lancashire team back then, the Yorkshire team, Northampton team with Lamb and Larkins and all these guys in there. You'd be able to reel off names because you remember seeing it. The numbers were there, but as you said, money is what makes the world go round, and money talks at the end of the day. But as I said, what is enough? There's always going to be my question, what is enough?
Very true.